It's happening. You're finally invited to interview for that accounting role you've been searching for. You're not sure what to expect, but you know you want to put your best foot forward by getting prepared and knocking this interview out of the park. You can start by reviewing the most common interview questions, but don't stop there. You should also make sure to be ready for some accounting-specific interview questions too. Welcome back to another episode of Facultive Station. Get involved and join the community by subscribing to the channel so you never miss any of our latest uploads. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 accountant interview questions and answers. Let's get into it. What are recruiters looking for in accountants? According to recruiters in the accounting industry, the most desirable candidates have experience working in public accounting for a large firm. But if you don't have that, don't let it deter you. There are many other skills and experiences that you can demonstrate to set yourself apart. When interviewing for accounting roles specifically, it's important to demonstrate a healthy mix of both technical acumen and soft skills. One of the biggest myths we hear about accountants is that they sit behind a computer for hours looking at numbers and ridiculous formulas in Microsoft Excel with no human contact ever. On the contrary, accountants must demonstrate skills in a variety of areas to be successful in the job hunt, such as communication, client engagement, data analysis, and time management. Here are 10 questions that you may be asked in your accounting interview so that recruiters and hiring managers can see whether or not you have the skills and experience needed to do the job. Plus, advice on how to answer them. 1. Tell me about your background. This might feel like a broad or vague question, but here, recruiters want to understand the depth of your accounting experience, as well as how you think and talk about your career trajectory. If you're interviewing for a tax role, what type of returns have you worked on? If in audit, what was the size of your client and industry? What type of projects have you worked on? How to answer. Don't tell your whole life story. Briefly summarize your career and the work that you've done at a high level. The recruiter will most likely ask follow-up questions based on what you share in your response. Think about using stories of how you gained an interest in the field and what led you to the roles you pursued. This is also a great opportunity to share your future goals and further express your interest in the company. If there was something specific about the company or position that caught your attention, say what it was. Share how your prior experience has prepared you for the position you're interviewing for. Remember, it's all about relevance and connecting the dots. 2. What accounting processes are you most familiar with? Recruiters typically ask this question to get an idea of what type of functions you've performed within accounting, as it looks different from department to department and company to company, and how the work you've done is relevant to the work you would be doing in the new role. How to answer. Think about your past and current responsibilities as they relate to performing technical accounting work. For example, if you've worked as a staff accountant, you may be responsible for month-end close procedures and can share what work that entailed. If you've worked in a financial accounting role, you may be responsible for reviewing quarterly financial statements and cross-referencing work papers. You'll want to go as in-depth as possible. For the recruiters to understand the significance of your role, you would want to include the accounts you're responsible for, i.e., accounts receivable, derivatives, accounts payable, or cash. Or if you're responsible for specific parts of the financial statement, share which parts as well as which financial statements, i.e., balance sheet, income statement, or cash flow statement. Include monetary amounts of accounts, if that's not confidential, or the number of accounts you worked with to further substantiate that you were a key player on the team. This would also be the perfect time for you to share with the interviewer any processes you improved or implemented, especially if your changes minimized errors. If you do this, back up your response with examples and numbers. What is your technical experience with accounting software? The interviewer will ask this question to assess your experience using accounting tools and software in your day-to-day work. Bonus points if you have experience using the specific software that the company you're interviewing with uses. Some companies use common industry software, while others may have customized software. This varies by company size and industry. How to answer. To prepare yourself to answer this question, take a look at the job description of the role to see which software and tools the company uses. You want to be prepared to speak to your experience with using the one specified in the job description, but you won't know every system out there, and that's okay. So emphasize the experience that you do have with specific tools and with learning new tools, especially if you can show that it will help you succeed in the role you're applying for. Also, think about how your technical background has positively impacted your team or company. 4. What is your background working in various industries? Recruiters want to see if your experience aligns with the company's size and industry. Since accounting is such a vast profession, rules and processes differ across industries. How to answer. For this answer, you want to think about the role and company you're interviewing for. If you're interviewing to be a private or internal accountant, hiring managers primarily want to hear about your experience and interest in the company's industry. But if you're interviewing for a public accounting role, they want to hear about your experience across industries, since you'll likely have clients of different types. In either situation, be sure to emphasize your experience in and tailor your answer to the industry or industries relevant to the role. If you aren't sure what those are, this is a great opportunity for you to ask the interviewer. 5. Do you have your CPA? The Certified Public Accountant License is the ultimate certification, and it shows commitment to the profession. If you have your CPA, it will make you stand out against the competition. However, there are many other certifications in accounting that you could pursue. Having a CPA isn't the only way. How to answer. There are no tricks to this one. Tell the interviewer briefly and straightforwardly about your CPA or other certifications or progress toward them. 6. How do you handle challenging situations or difficult conversations with others? Accountants don't work in silos and will be working with internal or external clients to get the books in order. There may be times when you encounter a discrepancy with a client or when an accountant reconciliation is inaccurate and you have to confront your colleague about the error. Recruiters want to see that you have no issue handling difficult conversations and are efficient at quickly solving problems that may arise, especially if you're under a tight deadline. Be sure to avoid bad-mouthing your company or colleagues, as this could reflect poorly on you as a future employee or co-worker. How to answer. For behavioral questions such as this, the STAR method is a great approach to follow to ensure you answer the question completely. Emphasize your specific contribution to handling the situation and describe the outcome. 7. How do you organize and prioritize your day? There are many moving pieces in an accounting role, so the interviewer will want to understand how well you balance and prioritize your work when things get busy. How to answer. The work of an accountant is driven by processes, impending deadlines, and a ton of cross-functional collaboration. So organization, time management, and healthy communication between your team and clients are all super crucial to demonstrate here. According to Holt, it's important for accountants to explain how they are able to keep track of their schedule and effectively split time between accounting procedures, client check-ins, and team check-ins. For instance, how often are you checking in with your clients? And when you do, are you sending them updates on documentation needs or where things may be held up in the process? If you're waiting on something from them, do you keep a running to-do list, use a checklist, or note due dates on your calendar? There is no right or wrong answer here. Share what has worked for you to stay on task and on time. 8. Tell us about a time when you were up against a tight deadline. How did you handle it? Time management is a crucial skill for any job in the accounting world, as there are many regulations that companies must abide by for compliance measures. Working with a short or difficult-to-meet deadline at some point is almost inevitable, and interviewers want to see that you're up to the task. How to answer. This is the perfect time to show that you're solutions-focused and don't mind stepping up to the plate when duty calls. Remember the STAR method again for this behavioral question. Choosing which story to tell can be difficult, so before the interview, you'll want to prepare a story about a time you stepped up and successfully navigated the situation by demonstrating your leadership and time management skills. 9. How have you added value to your company outside of your client activities? Depending on the company or path you're on within accounting, and especially if you're an external auditor, hiring managers might want to understand how well-rounded you are and how committed you'd be to getting involved internally. How to answer. This is a fairly easy and straightforward question, and a great way for you to show leadership skills beyond the day-to-day requirements of your accounting work. If you've helped with business development, activities to grow the practice, or led a committee or initiative, those are positive factors to demonstrate your versatility. 10. Why are you interested in this company? As an accountant, there are a plethora of paths, fields, and organizations to choose from. Whether you want to work in a nonprofit, corporation, or university, you have quite a few choices. A recruiter will want to assess how committed and enthusiastic you are about joining this company in particular. How to answer. This is when you connect those dots between your career goals and the company. You should show your interviewer that you've done your research. Always check out the company's website and social media for insight, and take the time to make sure your professional goals and values align with the company's. For example, is one of your goals to work with a specific company, size, or industry? Have you been fascinated by this organization's approach? Are you passionate about their mission? If so, you will want to share that during your interview. Not only should you speak to how the company is aligned with your goals, but you can also reiterate how your experience is ultimately the best fit for what they are looking for in a candidate. With that, we've reached the end of today's episode all about the top 10 accountant interview questions and answers. Are there any common questions you think we missed out of this video? Get involved and let us know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a thumbs up. Plus, if you want to see more fantastic finance and accounting content just like this, remember to subscribe to the channel and check out our other socials such as Instagram and TikTok that are listed in the video description. As always, thanks for stopping by and watching. See you again soon in the next one.